Hi everybody, this is Jody Giles, and I have a very important financial update and personal request for everybody that considers themselves part of Mountain View Church. When we voted and passed our budget on June 25th of this year, we showed you that year over year, our budget was remaining about the same. Last year, we were just over 2 million. This year, just under 2 million. 25% of our budget is fixed in our facilities cost, and our facility is used 7 days a week. 50% of our budget is the staff, the people that lead the ministry and lead the volunteers like you that are doing the ministries of Mountain View Church. The remaining 25% of the budget, and I'll be happy to share these charts with you, represent overhead, things like insurance and utility bills, and of course, the 10% of our budget that we give away as first fruits, impacting our local community and ministry needs around the world. So while year over year, the budget was pretty much the same, and we had tightened our belts a little bit, the funding of our budget was very different. Now I need to talk about reserves. Reserves are our savings. And when we started the last fiscal year, we had about $300,000 in the bank. Reserves are like working capital that a business needs, although we don't have a line of credit. Reserves allow us to fund our monthly expenses, even though our income is highly seasonal, dependent upon November, December, and January. The remaining months of the year, we actually have to withdraw from reserves in order to meet our business and labor expenses. Well, we started the year at $300,000, but we had to withdraw $200,000 to fund all of the operations of Mountain View Church. So we said this year we would not withdraw from reserves. When we started the year, we had about $100,000 in the bank. Now, is that the right level? Most people will tell you, most churches would say you need at least 10% in reserves, no less than 5. Well, on a $2 million, that says we should have $200,000 in the bank and no less than $100,000 at that 5% level. When we started this year, we were just below $100,000. Many of you responded, and we had several large gifts in July that allowed us actually to contribute $54,000 back into reserves. And we were feeling very, very excited about that. August, however, we had to withdraw $77,000, leaving us with about $71,000 to begin the month of September. That, at current giving levels, means in order for us to pay our expenses and meet our payroll obligations, we would have no money left in reserves as we go into October. Therefore, because all of our other costs are fixed, the only place that the overseers can make change is in staff. And we will be making staff reductions this week. Now here's where it gets personal. I need to ask you to consider becoming a regular or recurring giver, or increasing your recurring gift. You see, recurring donors are those donors that sign up to give at least once a month. And regular donors are those who in the past have given at least once a quarter. We need to build the budget on the finances provided by these people. Last year, a quarter of our budget came through very large, generous donations, prompted by the Holy Spirit. And we are so thankful for those, and we want more large gifts. But we also need to build our budget financially, responsibly, based on recurring and regular donors. So what we need is those occasional donors, those people that give maybe once or twice a year, we need them to become regular donors and recurring donors. We need them to go out to the app or our website and sign up to give on a regular basis. It's very easy. You can set the dollar amount either for a one-time gift or hopefully for a recurring regular gift. And you can specify your bank account information, your credit card information, and it will happen automatically, and we will be able to plan and budget accordingly. Mountain View Church, here's where it gets personal. God has provided for this church for 26 years, but every time he's done it, it's been through a person. Even when we received anonymous gifts, it was a person that decided to give. How is the Spirit perhaps prompting you? Please pray. Pray for wisdom and discernment on behalf of the overseers and the staff, so that we would be wise in making these really difficult decisions about staff, because they're not just staff, they're church members and their family. And second, would you pray and ask, how can I be an even more effective steward? And I'm not asking you to do anything that we, myself, my wife, my family, or the stakeholders aren't doing ourselves. We need you to lean in to this time. And finally, I would ask, who could you invite? Who could you invite to participate in Mountain View Church and receive the blessings, receive the restoration, receive the ability to come to our place, which is a home for the wanderer, rest for the weary, and the place that's involved in the restoration of all things. Mountain View Church, thank you in advance for what you are going to do personally to keep the ministry going.